All right, hey, we're live again. Picking up kind of where we left off last time. So if you guys have been kind of watching the reruns that I've been doing the last couple days, or if you guys were around for the last stream, or if you guys just found some other way to watch that last stream, what we were doing is we were creating some Photoshop mockups for a cookbook I designed. And so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be there's a couple things that we're going to be doing today actually. Is now we're going to go take those and apply it to a layout format within the actual portfolio book itself. So I guess a broader recap for people that are just watching is I'm working on creating a portfolio book. I'm a graphic designer in my last semester of art school, and I'm creating a book. I'm creating like an actual physical book. So what that encompasses is me going and preparing all of my old projects to be put into that book. I can't just go straight from like a printed format. Like I printed some of these things. Some of them are like websites, and so part of this process is just figuring out the best way to present that. So for an actual printed book, you don't want to just drop in your PDF document and then that's it. You want to like be able to show that it was an actual book. So I'm doing that through Photoshop mockups. I actually took a couple pictures of some of the books. But today we're just going to kind of focus on the cookbook that I did. We might touch a little bit on the chapter opener pages, which is the sort of look and feel of the portfolio book itself. And we'll just kind of see how that all relates to another project that I already kind of laid out last week off stream, which was like a income inequality project that I did that included a card set, booklet, website, and an infographic. So yeah, we got some work ahead of us today. I will just kind of go straight in here. I'll show you what I have right now. So this is where I'm at right now. This is a chapter opener, right? So in my portfolio book, I have different projects. I'm planning on having around 9 projects right now. So this is what a chapter opener would look like to kind of announce, hey, this is a new project, right? The other project's over. Now we're opening into a new project. The idea, I really want my book to kind of have a lot of quotes. My working concept, I say working because I'm not like 100% solid on it right now. But the overall idea that I have is design is very much a learning process. I learn a lot of things when I design. And then obviously, like, to take that to like the most literal level is I'm going to school to be a graphic designer, so I'm learning things about graphic design. The flip side of that though is that graphic designers learn a lot. Every time they take on a new project, they gotta learn something. I did a t-shirt design for a local brewery, and I learned a lot about craft beer and the whole like beer making process, and I feel like that is very true for every single project that I do. Is I'm gonna learn something from it, whether it be something about the subject matter, learning something new about design, or just learning a life lesson, or a combination of all three. So that's what I mean by lessons learned. So this idea here is I would have some quotes, information about the project, some project details, and then this red type down here in the bottom right is sort of like an interpretation on this quote. So this quote is from me. It's just saying sometimes you gotta design something serious, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun while you're designing it. Because this was a very serious project. I think the only serious project in my portfolio. The rest of them were more fun, but income inequality is obviously more of a solemn, serious topic. And then just kind of like interpreting that more is down here in the red. It's like by choosing a serious topic, I was able to work outside of my comfort zone and learn more about the topic of income inequality. So that's the kind of ideas that kind of have those two things work together. And then the kind of the rest of it here. Similar idea for another sort of interpretation of this page, which is here. It's just actually just the left-hand side is different. I did this to kind of, in an effort to create some more variety and sort of balance out that page, because I felt like this was a little too bare. So I tried this out instead. Same sort of thing. It would just be kind of doubling up on that sort of idea of interpreting something. And then this would just kind of be a more elaborated lessons learned section for the project. So maybe like a paragraph or two there. So that's the idea. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do this. So like this would be the chapter opener for Income Inequality Project. And I need to work on the pacing a little bit, but this is sort of like what the subsequent pages would look like for this project. I would start off with a big image. And I think that this image here really speaks true to sort of what I wanted to talk about in this project was income inequality. There's a very sharp divide right here. I mean, obviously it would be within the gutter of the book, but you can obviously just see the differences in income here. There's this guy here probably has no income. This guy here on the left has a fancy bow tie. He's got, not to say that there's anything wrong with that, but just, I mean, could you hand him $1? And then we get into the project. This is a photograph that I took last week. This goes over the idea for this photo is to show the size difference between the card set and the booklet. I decided to do this at the end just because I realized there wasn't a way for me to really show the comparison in size. There was nothing to compare it to, so doing this picture I think helps a lot. These would be the cards, and I'm still working on sort of like the navigation, which you saw in here, which would be my name, the name of the project, and then just the page numbers. I'm not 100% done on that yet. Still have to think about it a little bit, so that's why it's not on here yet. But that would go on here afterwards, and that would kind of activate the pages a little bit more and make it not seem so empty. So that was the card set. This is another page here. I need to change the alignment on these. I was debating whether or not how I wanted to align these, because I feel like it's more important to have the consistent spacing in between, but what I was trying to do was trying to make it so that way the right hand side of this card here would touch the margin. Alright, so I think, alright, so this is another one, and you can just see how it's going back and forth between how these things are laid out. These are mock-ups down here. This is just a photograph again, and then this would be the booklet. That's the cover. Spreads, a bigger spread. I don't know why it's skipping. More spreads here, another spread there, and then the back cover, and then finally we'll wrap up. Finally, we would wrap up with the infographic here, and I still need to throw in some mock-ups for the website. I haven't decided if I want to keep the website or not. Just because I think the design for these other elements is a lot better than the website. The website needs to be more of a visual thing. Based on my concept, the concept was everything would be moving no matter how you scroll, and I think that's a little difficult to kind of convey in like maybe 3 or 4 static images. So I'm thinking about just leaving it out, and then maybe putting like an animation on an online portfolio for this. So. Alright, so what are we going to do today? What we're going to do today is we have a 60-page book. So we're going to do something similar to sort of the middle section of this here. Is laying out spreads like this. Since it is a longer book, we might not do so many this big. We would probably lay it out a little differently. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I get so tired when I start. I'm like fine like the whole day, right? And then as soon as I start streaming, I just start yawning. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm talking more or what. I don't know. It's weird. So alright, so what are we gonna do? We will is this aligned? I guess it is, huh? Okay, I'm sorry if the yawning thing, dude. My dudes, it's I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I need coffee. I'm all out of coffee, actually. I ran out of Keurig. With the K-cups for the Keurig. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this. This has my navigation on it. We'll drag this here to the end. So this project here is called Exquisite Embellishments. That's the name of the cookbook. Exquisite exquisite embellishments. I think I spelled that right. Perfect. How do I want to start this, right? Let me just copy this down here too. So I started off my last project with a big picture. So I think I'm going to do that again. I think I have, yeah, let me open up the folder where all my pictures are at. Let's see, when was this? This would be fall of 2016, yep. And then this project here had a website to it also, but the website was crap. I didn't like it at all. So I'm not going to put that into this one. Would it be too weird just to put a pattern? This whole book kind of talks about patterns, or uses patterns. We'll see what we like better. Okay, so let me just drop in a pattern. That spread doesn't really tell you much, right? I think this picture needs to be a little bit more descriptive. I think this is a good photo. I mean, okay, if you guys look at this right off the bat, you guys are going to be like, what the hell type of style is this? I think the book, I mean, this book obviously isn't like everyone's style, but I think that it would make more sense once you see the rest of the book. And I don't think this one needs the navigation on it. Okay, so that would be kind of the first spread. Oh, actually, what I need to do. Nah, I'll do it later. I was gonna say that I need a chapter opener for this one. We'll do that in a little bit. Alright, so then what did we do first for this project? We did, I think I want to kind of keep the same sort of angle as this one. So if I'm just going to drag this over here so that way I can make sure that it's the same angle after I drop in my book. Oh, I need to do this, don't I? There we go. Now we'll make this white. And then we look, I have a document over here that kind of lays out what project goes where. So I'm just going to look at that really quick, and then so I know which box to kind of check here. Print. Here, I'll show you kind of what I did. I put together a document that shows how many pages each project is going to take and where each project will go. So Victorian Cakes is here. It's 1, 2, well, let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 5th project. Oh, and then just looking at that too reminded me, I did a whole bunch of pictures last night for another project that I did. So I will, depending on how fast this goes, I will probably be editing some photos too. All right, cool. So we got this one here. I probably should have come up with some sort of a storyboard for this, so that way I wasn't just kind of winging it. But hey, we'll figure it out. I forgot I deleted this other one, so now I just need to go through here and redo this guy. This guy here will have no fill, and there we go. Cool. Now we got the black version, and whenever we need to do like, so what I'm doing is, if this isn't obvious, whenever the navigation here becomes too difficult to read on whatever background it's on, it needs to go to white. And the colors will, so it'll either be white, black, or non-existent. In the cases where it just looks weird to have it and it doesn't look good as either white or black, then I will just delete it. Or if there's like something really close to the edge that's making it look weird, I think, then I'll get rid of it. It's there as kind of a guide. And you'll notice that in some books that not every single page has a page number. If the page before it has a page number, you can determine that like 16 comes after 15, that type of thing, right? So that's why. Well, that's why I made it white, was just for readability. All right, so then on this page here, we will. What should we do? So we start off kind of big. Then white space. And I think it would be good to kind of have this be kind of like an overall shot of some more white space. So I'm looking to see what spreads that I think will work well on here. Maybe the title page. Is the copyright and dedication worth putting on here? Is that important? I don't think so. That doesn't really show anything, does it? Maybe end sheets. Oh, we already get the end sheet from the title page, right? So title page, maybe table of contents. I guess we can just kind of go in subsequent order. Let me just get the first one in right now. Oh, I kind of like this. Okay, hold on here. I see something. I didn't think to do this first. Here, let me what I need to do first is change the transparency on this to darken. What happened? So the idea here was to have multiple pages. So I didn't make them, I didn't do 6 here just because I wanted to have 6. I did 6 to kind of figure out the size that I would want later on. Yeah, let me lock that one. Because I don't want to do like lots of different scales, right? There we go. I think this would be a good place for a big image. So I have some photography down here. Trying to figure out if this is the best place for this image, or if I were to do like something like this instead. I think that looks better. And I think right now I'm just going to work on creating this neck spread. The neck spread's not going to have any navigation on it. I wonder if this is going to look too cluttered. Yeah, this is way too many for one page. That's what I was going to do. Yeah, this one looks nice. But I do need the navigation on this one. Why is this all pixelated? Oh, there we go. Wasn't sure what was going on because it was saying it was high quality, but it still looked pixelated. I guess it was just being slow. I can't decide how I like this one. I mean, I'm trying to think about like how I want to lay out this whole project in my head, and then I'm just kind of taking it one piece at a time, but I don't know if it's working out the way I want it to work. I think it might be easier just to kind of like do some sketches first before I do this. That's kind of cool. This would go up a couple spreads though, because this is like the beginning of the book. Along the bottom looks better. I would use the white space to insert a paragraph describing the project. So what's, I mean, I've been jumping around a lot. Apologize if I'm just seeing this now. Caleb, are you talking about this spread along the bottom? Or were you talking about that previous spread where I was trying to put it in the middle? As for the paragraph describing the project, I'm going to actually insert a whole spread talking about that. So I'm going to insert a spread kind of similar to this. This is what I did for the previous project. So this has a lot of information about the project. I don't know if I'm going to, so just looking at this left-hand page here, I don't know if I'm going to keep with this style or keep something just very simple like this style. But yeah, the plan is definitely to have information about the project. That's important. This is just me kind of just playing around, seeing what the best kind of flow looks like for kind of showing the actual project itself. So I mean, I'm a huge fan of kind of just bleeding things off the edge of the corner like that. Let's see, let me I'm not a huge fan of these things being like right there on that margin, because then the shadow starts to get a little too close to the page number. So I'm just going to do one. This is not a precise measurement. It's one shift click up. So that's what I'm gonna try and do for everything. It gives a little bit more breathing room around the numbers. I think this spread here isn't as interesting as it could be. So first spread, what do we want to see when we first open up the book? Does that look better, or does it look better with just the one corner cut? I think it looks better with just the one corner cut up like that. Because we are coming from that big page before. So we go from that, and now what do we want to see? Is it too much to want to go straight into a photo like this? Does this page offer anything, or does this Does a photo like this look a little bit better? We'll just kind of throw the photos in now and we'll move them around as we think is good. I got a couple tabs open over here that kind of show what others have done. So I'm just going to check that out real quick and just kind of see what some other people do for their books. There we go. I was hiding. I wasn't able to find the ones I actually wrote, like the table of contents and stuff. Alright, well I think I'm running into the problem that I did not plan this ahead of time before going onto the computer, which is something that I I always tell people not to do, and I fall victim to it myself just because I thought I'd be able to figure it out, but it has proven to be more difficult. So I think I'm going to take some time. I'm going to go do some sketches real quick, and then I'm going to come back later and then finish this up on the computer. So I might stream that process. I'll let you guys know. Follow me on Twitter to find out if I'll be back online later tonight. Otherwise, please come back. This process is far from over, so I got a lot more stuff to do. Here, I'll show you some pictures really quick that I took last night. So these are unedited photos. I did a lot of photos over here. So this was another project that I did. The idea for this project was, what does it look like if Xbox did home appliances? We had to find a company that did one thing and then try and like position them to do something else, something that's believable. So it's not like what if Ferrari decided to make toothbrushes or or something crazy like that. I feel like Xbox is pretty close to the home appliances already. So I did 3 boxes. I did an alarm clock, an electric shaver, and a coffee maker. So these are the boxes that I designed. I have a whole bunch of different photos from all different types of angles. So the plan is to get some of these edited up. So that's something else that I'll be working on, is going in through here and getting rid of the white lines to make it look like it was a seamless box. Like some of the cracking down here on the bottom, or actually that might have just been Sharpie from trying to hide it, but regardless, it's just making these things look perfect, making sure that it's level, and then changing the color background to whatever I want. So that's the process of photo editing, and you can see I have all different types of exposures of different shots, so it'll be blending the different exposures. This one here is like a nice mid-range exposure. Something like this is a little bit more exposed, so maybe like some of these back flaps here, or not the back flaps, these the sides that aren't getting the light, that might be good to use it there. You'll see how this all kind of comes together in Photoshop. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys that real quick before I sign off, so that way you guys kind of know what's to come. And then this, I think in general, you've seen me just work on 4 projects, and I'm going to put in a total of 9 into my portfolio, so I got a lot to do. So that's why I want to go do these sketches, so that way I'm not here wasting time trying to brainstorm on screen. So thanks for tuning in if you guys did. Make sure you guys follow, so that way you guys see some more of the feature stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.